Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Gemini. You getting a second time the sun in Aquarius, and that means that Aquarius is bringing you a message into your subconscious that you can be a star up in the sky. We all can be a star up in the sky, right? But so here we get a clear sign that Apollo is sitting here in front of the Taj Mahal and inspiring us, because Apollo is the sun god and the sun is a dwarf star and he's looking over to you. We're reading to the left because to the left goes to the new moon, which you have in your month, and in your opposite sign, then in Sagittarius, you get your full moon, which is then 6 months later. And so we're going to the left, right? So the number 6 and the number 17 follows. And so we recognize now that you get a second time, right, Aquarius Sun, because last time you already had, right at the beginning, Aquarius Sun giving you the light and the message, as you can see, allowed to show all of you when you're celebrating your new grandeur. Wow, right? So you see with the arrow in which direction we're going. To the left, introverted, to the new moon, and to the right, extroverted, to the full moon. And so the message is clear, right? Aquarius is telling you one more time, be innovative, be through Uranus, which rules Aquarius, the one that brings the new ideas. Now, what's important to know is that Pluto has moved into Aquarius, and Pluto is the mystic, Pluto is the shadow side, and is going back for 2 months again into Capricorn, but then the end of November it will be like fully for 20 years in Aquarius, and we are feeling the shift right now, right? And this is important because Pluto is a transformation. Pluto is a generational planet because it's going to be 20 years affecting us, and a whole generation is going to be born in that kind of energy. All the children that are born now are going to be new energies that are coming down and bringing us a new way of looking at love. Because the lovers is not like find the love with a partner. Yes, in the end, that's the result, right? But the first love that you should find is with yourself, and that's not always easy. The yoga pose for Aquarius is side plank, and side plank, you see here, we stretch up into the air because it's an air sign, but we also ground ourselves, and at the core of Aquarius is we put water on water and water into earth. And so it's important that we understand that we bring this kind of consciousness into the earth. I gave you king pigeon pose, reaching back to the feet. And again, it's the arms, right? That's your body part. And reaching back into the feet. The feet are your subconscious. Now you are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is, of course, the information, is the language. And Mercury is a personal planet because it has a very short span of spinning around the sun. And so it's more like felt on a personal level. So let's see what Aquarius is wanting to tell you a second time. And we're going to pick here for Uranus a separate deck, and it's here the Carrie Yale Visconti Tarot. It's one of the oldest tarot decks. Now I have, of course, on the Fool as well the Visconti Sforza deck, but this one is different. Why? Here in the Carrie Yale we have for all the knights and for all the pages masculine and feminine personalities. And so it's really important for us to see that that's a very Uranus kind of thing, right? Everything comes and goes. Everything has been here already. So in the 15th century, they were including the female knight, the female pages. So I wanted to include that. And it's important that we see now what the message is. But before I open the card one more time, here you are the Knight of Swords. You are quick. You are someone that is talkative, right? You are here strong in the way you communicate. You are the 3rd house of communication and interaction. Is your birthday between May 10th and June 9th? Then is this your court card? And if not, please look in the description below. I have listed all of them down there and all the cards that I'm using. So here you are not on a horse anymore. You already have a motorcycle. So it shows that you talk really fast. And it's really interesting. When I do your reading, I feel like I'm talking much faster than I usually would talk. Okay, so you have the 8 of Cups. And you see now, these are photographs of the original card, and they're really old. The 8 of Cups is connected with Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is connected with Capricorn, and Pluto was in Capricorn for 15 years and will go for 2 months back to Capricorn, right, from September to November, and then finally stay in Aquarius. So the 8 is that infinite knowledge that we get through Uranus, through Pluto, and you are ready to search for the 3rd cup, because then we have 9. You are leaving something good to get even something better, but you're not doing it for a selfish reason. You do it for your higher self. You are looking for this 1 cup. And so the 8 is that infinite search, right, for the true love, a higher love, a love that fulfills us. And like I said, a love that you can only find deep within yourself. And then you can give it to your partner. So then on the position of the Fool, we get here the King of Cups. This is Scorpio. And you see that the Fool is dropping himself into the flower of life. And this is the 8th house of reincarnation. So there is something in your search that you're looking for. You get an 8-8 portal. Very auspicious in a way, right? It begins right away with like 2 times 8. The Aquarius is then becoming also an 8 because the 17 calculated together makes the 8. So we have 3 times the 8. Empower yourself through the infinite knowledge. And once you know that infinite knowledge, you become unstoppable. And here you become unstoppable in the emotional intelligence. And the emotional intelligence would leave something good for even something that the higher self needs. It's very interesting, right? So it's kind of like, okay, this is a moment where you are gathering an understanding. And it's, yes, you are going to the left, and here is that cup. And it's almost Scorpio, Pluto is letting you know, yes, you will only find that 1 cup deep within when you take that path deep within towards your new moon. And so Scorpio is offering you this cup, this mysterious cup that's missing here. And very interesting, right? So it's kind of like, okay, 8-8. And here is that 1 cup. Then on the position of the Magician, we have the number 9 here. And it's interesting, right? If I calculate here the 8 cups plus this 1 cup, then I get a 9. But of course, this is the number 8, the 8th zodiac sign. Nevertheless, here are 9 cups. So then you get a 9-9 with the completion of the snake biting in its own tail. And that's what the alchemist is talking about by Coelho. It's the shepherd had to go the path, right? He had to leave the place that he was at and take that path outwards to come back and realize that what he was looking for was always there. And so when we look for the partner, we realize the partner is deep within us. So here the 9 and the 1 creates a 10, a completion, the new one, a new cycle that you can step forward. And it's really beautiful, right? Your reading starts very strong, very clear. Now, the Magician is connected with Mercury as well, and I wanted to know what is here coming to you through this oracle. And the Priestess of Wands is coming to the left, and that's an Aries. And she's the number 1. So in a way, I could create here an 11. It can be a date, 9/11, or the 11th of September, right? And if I calculate, of course, the 1 with the 9, I have a 10, plus a 1, I have the 11 as well. So altogether, we have an 11 here. The 11 is the inner teacher, and the inner teacher comes through here the Shaman of Wands, which is Aries, which is the Emperor. And it's almost saying, yes, go that path, that infinite path towards yourself, but in an extroverted way, you still bring that love out to the people. Recognize that you are going introverted, searching for who you truly are. And the 11, the inner teacher, appears, right, which is a portal. And so you had an 8-8 portal here. Now you have an 11. Very beautiful, very auspicious, very clear. The message is already like, okay, Aquarius is really wanting to tell you something through the 8 that Aquarius has in him, because the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 is the emotional intelligence of the Cancer, the Chariot, and together you get the strength and that infinite potential now to bring that love out to the people. And you see how she's like, yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna walk here the path of action, right? And the action is introverted, an action that creates a cycle, an action that creates the inner teacher. And it's important that we know the inner teacher is waiting for us all the time to be discovered. Then on the position of the High Priestess, we get the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is, of course, then that moment where we recognize, okay, everything is orchestrated. Here, the Lord of the Forces of Life is talking. The 10 and the 2 is the 12, and the 12 can be the Hangman. Could also be the 12th house of spirituality and art. And you see, this is a beautiful art piece. And she streams down the higher consciousness. And you see the stream of consciousness coming to her between the dark and the light, and she's always between the dualities. She has to decide. And so the 12, right, in the Hanged Man is saying, well, sometimes we gotta let go, sometimes we're up, and sometimes we're down here. But then calculated together, we get the 3. And also the 12 is the 12th house, Pisces, of art and spirituality, and then the 3 is left, right? And so you are searching for that love that here, in a way, Scorpio is offering you, that's what you're looking for, and your path continues, and you have a circle here, and you have a circle here. So you have two circles. Very beautiful, right? It's clear that there is a completion happening, because then on the position of the Empress, you get the Hermit, Virgo here. And she's connected with Venus. Venus is beauty and love and exciting birth of energies that we have as ideas. And here is Venus, right? And so the 9 and the 3, again, the 12. So you have a 12-12 portal next to each other. And then a 3-3. So the 3-3, the 33 degrees is important for you to know. The 11 is the inner teacher. The 22 is the Fool. The 22 is the 22nd major arcana, right? 0 and the 22nd are the same card. And that's when we understand the picture. But with the 33, it's kind of like that's when we know that we're powerful. That's when we have arrived at the last stage in the secret brotherhood. And so you are continuing the path deep within, because he also represents the tantric union between masculine and feminine. And that's exactly what you find here deep within you. And so the 3 then, the 3-3 is letting you know, well, if you unite here your intuition with the Wheel of Fortune, know that everything comes and goes, and there's always duality challenging us. And if you unite here the masculine and the feminine into a tantric union, and you give birth again and again to your own ideas, then the 33 appears, right? Then you get the 33. It's not a clear 33, right? It would be if we have a 3 and then again a 3, then it's a clear 33. It's like here you need to do the work, right? You need to combine. You need to understand that the combination creates then the work to get to the 3. And the same here. All right, then on the position of the Lovers of Gemini comes the Sun. And the Sun is like, okay, there's a clarity. Once you find this, once you have that 33 degree, right, the 10 and then here the 9, right, and you had a 9 here before. There is a clear 9-9 portal as well, right? And that clear 9-9 portal is saying, all right, you are now learning to understand what's important. Now here we have also with the 10 and the Queen of Wands, a 1 with the 10, right? So the 10 is a 1, so again we have an 11 here as well. But the clarity that you're gaining here with the 19, again, the Wheel of Fortune plus the Hermit becomes the 10, the Wheel of Fortune, plus the 6 is 16, is the Tower. And the Tower is always that moment where Mars comes in and says, okay, things gotta go, all things gotta go. And then the 7 is there, and the 7 is then the emotional intelligence that we are learning, because the emotional intelligence is then leading from 7 to the 8. So in a way you have understood the emotional intelligence. You have understood that the emotional intelligence is really important, and that's what Aquarius is bringing, right? The 17, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 7, which is the crown chakra. And so here the 7 again speaks to you. Understand, in your third eye, you will see the 7th chakra, and you will see what's important, and you will feel that in your subconscious very clearly, very strongly. Because then on the position of the Knight of Swords, you get the Magician. So you got two very important major arcanas. Here the Magician is connected with Mercury, and so the 1 and you, the third house, is the 4. And the 4 is the Emperor, the 4 is the stability, 4 is a leader. And you then create whatever you want to create. You get the 1 here. You get the 1 here with the Queen of Wands to the left. And you get the 1 here with the Wheel of Fortune. Powerful, powerful stuff is happening here. And you get a 1 here when we calculate the 19 together. And you, here with Mercury, right? Mercury is ruling the Magician. And the Magician is the one that creates. The Magician here for me is always like a DJ. He's like, okay, what are we going to do? And so the 4 is finding your stability, finding the inner emperor by going deeper within. Because then on the position of Aquarius, the star comes here, the Page of Swords, and that's you when you were younger, learning, so that you can spread the seeds, learning whatever there is to learn. And in your deck, you can see now the star. To be a star is to have knowledge, to stand here on all of these books. And this is the number 3, and the 17 is the 20. It's your calling to be a star when you have knowledge. And then you can give that knowledge further and just give it to the world, right? And the wind will carry the way, and the wind and the music or whatever he's doing here, this DJ, for me it's the DJ, right? And he has the 8 up on his hood, right? So it's kind of like the 20 is saying, yes, you are bringing the inspiration to the people as a star. It's not easy to become a star because now Aquarius is in the sun, and the sun is a dwarf star. So it's kind of like pushing you because Apollo is sitting here in front of the Taj Mahal, which is declaring eternal love, which is the 7, which is Cancer. Now you could also be more of a Cancer personality, right? Look at the dates. I said the 10th of May up to the 9th of June. So maybe you're more born at the end and you have already Cancer energy in you, but here you come up as a young Page of Swords. Knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge makes you a star. Then on the position of the moon comes the Moon Oracle, and the Moon Oracle is bringing you this incredible moment, the repairing the veil, the forgiveness, the 45. And so here this is a 9, and here we get a 9 with the 18, a 9-9 portal, right? But the 4 again, the Emperor, and the 5, the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant is connected with Venus. The Hierophant is Taurus, the banks, the institutions. And so learning to recognize that you need to repair something so that you can forgive. Because forgiving is like you giving back things that happened to you that were maybe not as pleasant, but you don't really have anything negative here, right? Except, let's say here, what's interesting is that you got here the 16, which is the Tower, but the Tower then brings you the 7, brings you an emotional intelligence that you can then celebrate yourself. And so this happened in your deep subconscious. And the veil that you are repairing is the forgiveness. And you see behind there is another consciousness that you are looking into. And so I wanted to see what are you repairing? And here comes the World. So we have a 9-9 portal, plus the 21, which is a 3. And so we get the 3 left. And the 3 again is here, the 3, when you calculate it together. And this 3, so you have then 3 times the 3. 3 times the 3 is like you're powerful in that power when you forgive. You're powerful when you forgive. And that is true power, right? 3 times 3, it's like I am powerful because I can forgive, and that's my real power. And it's so beautiful because look at her, she's dancing here in the circle. The world is connected with Saturn. And yes, Saturn came here, right? Saturn in Pisces. So you moved on, you moved forward to reach here the 9, the completion, the world. In a way again, you get a circle. So you have 1, 2, 3 circles, right? You have this circle, you have this circle, and now you got this circle. And when we forgive people, because it's like, again, it's kind of a biblical sentence, right? Forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. Some people don't know what they're doing. They're cut off. They're so cut off of the source that they do things that they just don't even recognize what they're doing. And so I think you are understanding the message here. You're understanding that this is really important, what you are doing here. What you're diving into is into the forgiveness. You forgive the world. You forgive that certain energies are just not what we think is necessary, but it is. Here in this dimension, everything is just right the way it is, and it doesn't make sense for a lot of people. Because then on the position of the sun, which came up on your position, comes the equator, the number 5. And the 5 is in here. And she's pointing at this forgiveness. The dark side in us is pointing at the forgiveness. And she's like, I get it. And you see here again a circle. And here's a circle as well, right? Because the sun is a circle. So we have the 19, which is a 10. The 10 and the 5 is the 15. Well, guess what? The 15 is Capricorn. Capricorn, which is the attachment, which was the reading before the last one, right? Aquarius Sun. Before that was Capricorn Sun. The attachment, or actually the cutting off of the source, makes us do things. And so here is that fertile side in us saying, well, forgive because they don't know what they're doing. And so the 15 becomes a 6, and the 6 is then again connected with you. Unite the dark and the light deep within you. Find forgiveness deep within you. Then you understand the message. The message is like, here, then you appear. But I wanted to see what's coming here, and we get the Shaman of Swords. That's Aquarius. So Aquarius is coming and saying, well, you got to really understand that everything is orchestrated, that everything is coming and going. And so you see how the Shaman of Swords, the 11th zodiac sign of community and technology, is talking here to the 6, right? So we have the 6 left and the 11th zodiac sign. So again, we get the inner teacher is coming. And so maybe you have an Aquarius friend who is like pointing at those things that are happening right now, right, in the world. And you are bringing the message out to the people through the air, through the wind, right? We have here also a young Aquarius and a young Libra and a young Gemini. These are all the 3 pages. And so we see the forgiveness here is important. The forgiveness when people do things that are atrocious, terrible. So the 6 and the 11 could be a date again, right? The 11th of June or the 6th of November. But we have the 11 and the 6 here left. So I don't calculate that together. And then on the position of the world, we get the Hierophant. And so we get a 5-5 portal, a clear 5-5 portal, which is letting you know that now the 5 and the 21, which becomes a 3, is here again an 8. And so 2 times 5 has become creative in the 5 senses, right? And you had here the 5 in the 45. And of course you had the 15 here then, which is then of course of the Capricorn, the devil, the attachment, the 5 senses. And it's always those 5 senses, right, which are blocking us, which are challenging us. And it's important that we understand how they work, right? We need to go into the third eye. We need to awaken. And so the Hierophant is bringing you here, awaken. She's like literally looking at this dark energy, which points at here, repairing the veil, the 9. And you have now 3 times the 9. Three times the 9, right? That's like you powerful in understanding what the 9 means. The 9 is the completion, and when you have it 3 times, it's like body, mind, and soul are coming into a completion. And she's pointing at that. So enjoy that. Enjoy that feeling where she's pointing at. Because when we forgive, it's the most powerful tool or the most powerful emotion that we can give to people, even though they have done things wrong, right? But don't you want to be forgiven when you have done something wrong because you were just innocent and you just didn't know? And that's the world, right? The world right now. And you see this little blue circle. It's kind of like here we see she's pointing at the world, right? But this now, the next step here, what's important is that we get the 8, and then we have here again to closing of the 8 of Cups. Amazing. The 8 of Cups, and hold on, I'm just going to hold it here, Scorpio. 3 times 8. Powerful. 3 times 8, you understand, okay, now I'm powerful in the infinite, I'm powerful in uniting, I'm powerful in the emotional understanding of things. And yes, the Taurus energy is always about the finances, right? And so here we also had the 5. And so Taurus is looking at where she's pointing at. And so that's where the healing is, right? In the repairing the veil, in the forgiveness. And that's why you have to move forward. That's why you have to go for higher consciousness. You do anything. Because you're Gemini. And Gemini is the lovers, right? And the lovers is like, okay, I want harmony. I love harmony. I love when people get along. It's something deep within you, right? It's a deep desire that people get along. And so the message is clear, right? The 8 brought you 3 times the 8. And 3 times the 8, it's kind of like, it's very clear. It's like you want people to recognize that it's important to be emotional intelligent. Financially being intelligent, it's like, okay, emotional intelligence, it's like that's the highest form of love. Compassion, to have compassion. And that's why you are pointing, right, at the veil, at the forgiveness. And that's the emotional intelligence that we're looking for. And so it's clear. You're getting the 8 here, and it's also because you can trust a Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign. Taurus is like the sign before you. So maybe you even have Taurus energy because the 10th of May, that is connected here with the dates can also be Taurus energy, but you already have Gemini as a major arcana. So have a look at your dates and then you understand the message. But the message is that you're going for the emotional intelligence, and I think that's something that we really need to celebrate. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because that's when we get the sun in Pisces. Pisces is the 12. You had the 12 here with the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune. That's the path of love in a way, right? You got here the King that is giving you this beautiful cup. Now we're going to get the Knight that is going to give you the cup. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.